Let's write a code in order to dismiss our view in case if onboarding and current user is not nil. For this to work, we should go all the way up. Let me just close the left panel here. And here we have at state var showing sign up. I am going to create another one. Let me just copy and paste this. And I'm going to say showing, and then we need to have finish reg, which will be our finish registration screen. So we want to just keep a track of this if we are showing this view or no. And in order to dismiss my view, I'm going to use at environment, and then we need to access the presentation mode. And here I'm going to say var presentation. So this is how we actually dismiss a model presentation, because our view here is model presentation. You can just drag it down and it will dismiss itself. But when our user clicks like sign in, we want to dismiss this automatically. We'll call it presentation mode. So let's go to our function here where we have our login user. And here we should have an else statement. So in case if our user is not nil and is not onboarding, we want to show our onboarding screen. Otherwise, we just want to dismiss our view. So here, what we want to do, first I want to write the self.presentation mode that we just created, dot wrapped value dismiss. And this line of code is basically dismissing our view here. But in case if our onboarding is not completed, I want to change the value of this showing finish reg. So once we toggle the value, then we can show this to our user. So we say self.showing reg.toggle, and this will switch the value of our showing registration. And let's actually remove our empty lines. And if I move up before my login view, how we are going to present our finish registration screen is again through model presentation. And this I'm going to do end of body. Here we have our end of vstack. I'm going to put dot sheet, and then we put the item, which is actually now we need to see if is presented. And here we pass our binding variable if it's showing a reg, and the content, I just delete this and put the content here. So once we have this set as true, I want to say finish registration view, and I want to initialize this. So let's see if this is actually working. I will run again. Let's go to our basket here. It asks us to log in. So I will say iOS dev school at gmail.com, password, and let's sign in. And now it takes me to finish registration screen. So we have our finish registration presented to us, and we have this 4 information we need to provide. Let me just put some dummy text. You see by default finish registration button here we have is not active. So if I put something here, once I complete everything, it becomes active. So when I click, nothing happens right now because we haven't written the code for it. But if I dismiss this one, I can see my screen here again, and we can dismiss this as well. So the part of the code that we try to show our finish registration is working. And to quickly sum up again, once our user logs in, we check if we have a local user. If we have and onboarding is done, we just move to we just dismiss it and go back to our application. Otherwise, we switch this toggle, which in its case just activates this sheet that shows our finish registration view. And now for our finish registration view to work, actually, what we need to do is to be able to update our currently logged in user. So we need to write another function, because when our user provides all these name, surname, address, and phone number, what we want to do is to take our current user and update all the information in our Firebase, and plus update our locally saved user as well. So in our next lecture, we are going to write a function that is going to update our user.